everyone, my name's Anne-Marie. Welcome to this very special tutorial. Today I'm going to be working with a collection from a company called Relative History, and it's the Poppies collection, and we're going to make a gorgeous scrapbooking page, lots of detail and lots of interest on it. Everything I do here is I should put in a detail list on my blog, so please be sure to check it out. Now the video itself shows you how to make the scrapbooking page, and I use 2 photos from embellishments that are available from Relative History. So the people that you see on the scrapbooking page aren't actually my grandmother and grandfather. I just want to make that clear. But the photos sit really well with what we create, and it would be ideal for anybody who's new to scrapbooking or just wants to make a mini album and you don't have any photos maybe, and I think that would be a great idea to use and work with those photos. Maybe you need them for cards. They would work so well with so many different things. Now please check out Relative History on Facebook and check their website out. Again, I'll put the details on my blog. And you can always find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. All the links are at the end. So without further ado, please sit back, relax, and let's have a look at this special scrapbooking page. Now there's something I just want to mention before we start. Relative History has some gorgeous, gorgeous paper collections and embellishments. Now some of the embellishments are old photographs, and you could use them for any of your projects, whether you're card making, scrapbooking, whatever you're creating, you could use them. I'm going to use them for the photographs in this scrapbook page because I just thought they worked so well. And I wanted to let you know that the people that you see on the page, the fictitious information, I've made the information up for them, and they're not really my grandmother and grandfather. So what I've done is I've taken 2 photos, I've die cut them already so that you can see a different way to use them. Maybe you're new to scrapbooking and you fancy giving it a go before using your own photos, or you want to just add them to enhance something. But it's a great way to, use embellishments that are a little bit different. So the first thing that we're going to need is our paper. Now I'm using paper from the Poppies collection. Everything I've created is from the Poppies collection, and the extra cardstock is yellow, red and black. You can see I've taken a main sheet of cardstock from the collection and I've cut it down roughly 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch so that it will fit on a piece of black cardstock as a framed background basically. So it's actually 12 by 12 in size when you get it, and you just trim it if you want to use it for your cards, or use it as entirety for a scrapbook page. Just so happens I wanted a black frame around the back of mine. So the first thing that we're going to do is I'm going to work top downwards, I think. And the first thing, I've created some rosettes. Now I've created 5 rosettes. I've used the Tim Holtz rosette die to make 5 different ones in 3 different sizes, all created from the Poppy collection. And I'm going to add these to my page, and I'm going to add them, 2 of them to the top of the page, and I'm hoping I'm going to position these right because you can see better than I can. And I've put 2 to the top corners, and then I'm going to put 2 towards the centre, and I'm not pressing them down quite yet. And then I've got a larger one that I'm just going to add roughly about there, I think. Then I've die cut using a Spellbinders frame die some plain red cardstock, and I've cut the frame edges away. Now we're actually using the entire frame for the photos, but you can see the selection I've cut away from the sides. and it's just going to create a gorgeous border. Now I'm just going to turn my cardstock around slightly so that I can see, and I'm going to position it just over the top of the rosettes like that, just to both sides, and I'm going to turn the cardstock again just so that I can see where I'm positioning them. So there's just 2 sections of a die that I've cut, so you could even use some of your scraps if you prefer, and they're just sitting over the top of the rosettes. Next, I've die cut a heart, again using the poppy papers from the collection, and I'm saying papers, it's actually cardstock. Now the poppy has got 3D foam at the top and flat tape around the edges, and I'm saying poppy, it's the heart, I can't speak today, and that's basically so it's going to sit between the rosettes and over the top of the large rosette underneath, like so. So that will sit nicely there. And then on top of this heart, I've die cut some smaller hearts, and then I've used one of the Lisa Horton stamps from the ticker tape collection just to say the word love. This is on 3D foam, and I'm just going to position that over the top of the large heart. So then you can see how that is kind of coming together at the top. Nice and easy, and I hope, you know, at home it's going to give you some ideas of how you can use this gorgeous collection. Next, I've cut out a circle of black cardstock. I'm going to position it roughly about there, and then I've die cut the frame that we've already seen, and I've used again one of the poppy papers, and I'm going to position that over the top of the oval of the black cardstock. I've got another one here that I've already put together just to save us a little bit of time. So I'm putting that at the other side and pressing that down. That was on 3D foam. Now, because we're mixing brands and we're mixing everything that we're using, we've used some Tim Holtz, some Lisa Horton, Spellbinders, it's only fair that we include a little bit of Anna Griffin. So from the All Heart collection, I've die cut 2 of the large bows in red cardstock. Now I've then die cut a label using the Spellbinders dies, and I've cut this out of the Poppies collection, and I'm going to simply pop the label underneath part of the All Heart bow, and it will just sit with part of the tail hanging over the edge. And then I'm going to position it onto our ovals like that. There we go. And I'm going to do exactly the same for the other side. So I've die cut the label, I've die cut the large bow, and I'm simply slipping the label under the bow so the little ornate tails are sitting around the oval. It's on 3D foam in some places and flat tape in others. It's on flat tape to sit on the bow, on the ovals, and then 3D foam as it hangs over, like that. I'm going to try and get them roughly symmetrical and press it down. There we go. So now we can add our photos. So these are the 2 photos that I've die cut from the embellishment collection. And both, well, I mean, she's beautiful and he's very handsome. I've die cut them using the Spellbinders labels. I've put them on 3D foam and just backing onto red cardstock. I'm going to position the gorgeous lady here, and I'm going to position the gentleman here. There we go. And press that down. Then I've taken 2 small heart dies and I've cut out just a small heart from the Poppies cardstock, and then I can add some information about these 2 people. Now, I mentioned at the beginning I've made this information up. In the actual Poppies collection you get little note cards, and I think these are great for adding details onto your scrapbooking pages, or maybe you prefer to just stamp a sentiment onto a card front and include them that way. So I've given these 2 people a little bit of information that I've made up. I've no idea who they are, but I'm going to call them my grandmother and grandfather. And I personally saw the photos and I thought, oh, they're going to work perfectly for the side. So I'm going to add the gentleman's information underneath, and these are just on flat tape. I've just simply cut them out and used a permanent black pen, an archive pen, so that it won't fade. And then the lady's information. I've stamped the word grandmother onto some of the Poppies cardstock. Now, this is a great tip for anybody who can't stamp straight or cut straight. Don't try. Put it at an angle, and you know what? It doesn't matter. And I'm thinking I'm going to pop that at that side there. And I've got the same for the gentleman, grandfather, and I'm going to put that at an angle underneath. And I've just missed 2 gorgeous little bows that I've made, again using the Poppy collection from Relative History. I've used one of the Spellbinders dies to make the bows, and then just a set of nesting dies to add little hearts into the centre. And I'm going to just add these at the top. There we go, 1 at each side on the little half frame pieces we added. Now at the bottom, what I've done is I've die cut 2 small hearts from the Poppy collection, and I've just popped those on 3D foam, and then I've made some flowers, just a couple of paper flowers in matching cardstock, just in different, you know, just paper flowers from some quilling dies that I've got. And I thought these are going to look great just at the side of the information. I'm using a little bit of silicone glue, and I'm going to start off with adding a little bit of greenery. There we go, just at the side, and I'm going to do exactly the same at the other side, so it's kind of symmetrical. And second piece of greenery, little bit more glue, and this time on the back of the flowers. So I've got quite a large flower here and a smaller one that I can add. There we go. And then 2 for this side. There we go. Now, if you don't have any silicone glue, use wet glue or flat tape, whatever you have at hand. I'm not using it for the height, I'm using it for quickness, to be fair. And that is our scrapbooking page finished. Now I've got to say, obviously it's nice and quick. There's a lot of detail to it. It's the preparation that will take the time for you, but the Poppies collection, the relative history collections are all so beautiful, and you would be able to use them for so many different events. Now I'm going to take lots of photos of this, close-ups, and put it on my blog, so please be sure to check it out. It's a great idea if you're wanting to scrapbook, and maybe dip your toe into it, and maybe it looks too much for you, but now you've seen it broken down, and you could prep it over, you know, over days, and then put it all together. And I think that's the fun of it, and that's the beauty. I don't scrapbook enough. I love scrapbooking. That's my first love, is scrapbooking, and it's just been a pleasure to work with such a gorgeous collection. And I hope you've enjoyed watching and, you know, looking at something a little bit different. So please check Relative History out. I'll put the links on my blog. Please give me the thumbs up. Let me know what you think, because I know you will. I know you enjoy letting me know what you think, especially when you see new things. And I would just like to say thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you next time.